Welcome to Protect and Grow with Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns of TJ Stearns Incorporated. Trust, respect, and results. TJ Stearns Incorporated focuses on comprehensive financial planning and benefits.
And welcome into the program. This is Protect and Grow Chicagoland Retirement with Chicagoland's certified financial planning professional, your CFP resource, ladies and gentlemen, Tim Stearns, CFP. And we are always glad to be joined here on the program for a dose of common sense when it comes to our money, our investments, our financial and retirement planning. Tim, welcome in yet again to another great edition of Protect and Grow. Thank you for being here.
Great to see you, Peter, and great to be here to kind of help out. What I want to do today is we've been talking a lot in my college retirement courses about Social Security. There's so many myths and untruths, if you will, and lies even, where people are thinking this, that, and the other thing. And the big thing I want to do is kind of dispel some of those so that those baby boomers out there that are approaching retirement or are approaching turning on their Social Security can have some peace of mind. Knowledge is power. And I think that, these 5 areas that we'll go over will make people feel a lot better after listening.
Yeah, well, Tim, I do want to start by also mentioning the fact that you've been getting great response from your book, The Retirement Riddle, and we want to offer the opportunity to get that book, that resource in people's hands on today's program as well, correct?
Absolutely. What I'd like to do is the first 10 callers that give us a call, we are happy to get that into their hands. The Retirement Riddle, I put this book out because it also, I think, gives people some peace of mind, points out some areas that people need to work on. I don't think retirement, it's a work in progress, as they say. And so the book has really come together over the last couple of years doing the radio show with you, Peter. Just some great points that can put out there. I've gotten really great positive responses, so I'm so glad I did it.
And one of the big riddles, Tim, playing right into today's specific topic is Social Security. You talk over a number of different aspects and angles and features of Social Security that we need to rethink in order to be more confident in retirement in that book, as well as several other major topics that you need to reconsider in your planning, ladies and gentlemen, discussed in the Retirement Riddle book. So if you would like your copy, be one of those first 10 callers to today's program, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. But Tim, I think the big riddle on the minds of savers and investors and proactive planners is Social Security going to be there for us into and throughout retirement? A lot of concern about the solvency and stability of the system as a whole right now.
Well, I mean, one of the big myths is that Social Security is going broke or bankrupt. That is not the case. What they put out last year is that they would not be able to deliver on the benefits that they had the year previously through 2034 was what that number was. Now we're down to 2033. Now, things can be changed, and as they wait to make that changes, the options that they have at their disposal have gone down every year. But that being said, for this listening audience, I think, and I'm 51 years old, so I think really anyone over the age of 50 is going to be okay the way it currently stands. Now, for the younger generations out there, I do think they'll make some changes. Some of the ones they've talked about is things they've done already, which is when my father retired, the full retirement age was 65. Then they moved it to 66 and some odd months based on when you were born. And then now for my age group, it's 67. I could see them moving that to 68, 69, even 70, because people are living longer and longer. So I do see them doing that. But I think for the people out there, we'll be okay, but you're going to see your kids paying more into it and perhaps working longer to get the benefits out of it.
Well, speaking of those life expectancies, Tim, and that adjustment in full retirement age, which, by the way, that is when you are fully entitled to it. You can still do the early claiming, right? But that full retirement age moved up 2 years. Meanwhile, average life expectancy has extended almost 20 years, I believe. So there is a disparity there. And maybe justifiably so. Nobody wants to think about having to work longer, but maybe it is justifiable that system, that Social Security does make the adjustments in comparison, or at least relative to the longer lifespans and the additional longevity that we are experiencing with today's generation versus previous generations.
Well, one big thing that you need to put into there is that politicians that are going to be changing these rules know that you have to vote for them down the road.
Number one job, right?
Yeah.
Reelected.
So they know that they have a coveted interest in this, that they need to take care of it. So that's number one. Social Security is not going broke or bankrupt. I don't think that for a minute. Are there going to be some nuances change, maybe a reduction in benefits for the younger people out there? I do think that.
And this may cross over a couple of these myths as well. But Tim, another change that they have already proven that they are willing to implement is the taxability of the Social Security benefits themselves, right? If they maybe add an additional tier or make more of it taxable, that also helps to solidify and make the system more solvent.
That's correct. A lot of people in our college classes, that's a thing that comes up. Has it always been taxable? And the answer is no. In 1983, it came about that they were starting to tax it. In 1993, they actually increased what they're taxing. So I would tell people out there, if you're concerned about how much you're going to be receiving versus not receiving due to taxability, give us a call and we'll actually take you through the exercise and filter in exactly what you need to know. That's a big thing. Many people are expecting this to be the brunt of their retirement. And, you want to make sure that you understand exactly what you're getting yourself involved into before you start turning it on.
And then finally, Tim, I know this one has not really been implemented previously, but it does seem to be kind of the atmosphere these days. Higher income earners, I mean, those with substantially higher income are not paying in to Social Security on all of their income. In fact, somebody who earns about $130,000 pays in to Social Security based on 100% of their income, whereas somebody who earns 13 million in a year only pays in on 1%, right? And that may be something they adjust at some point in time.
Right. And then I'll flip that on you. I've also seen it where they've talked about doing means testing, where they say, well, Joe Blow has, 5 million in retirement. He doesn't need the Social Security as much, right? And he didn't pay into it as much, right? And then you have John Smith over on the other side who paid in about 100% of his earnings into there. So he would get more of his share of Social Security than the person who's got a lot of assets. So means testing is also a thing they've talked about.
Yeah. Bottom line, Social Security, a cornerstone of retirement. I mean, such an important part of retirement. And I don't think that we want to lose the system. And I don't think that the politicians up in Washington are willing to put their reelection on the line by having to tell the American population that it won't be around. So this one, Tim, a myth. Social Security is not going to go away, even based only on revenue generating projections currently, still able to pay 75 cents on the dollar of promised benefits. Now, how much you want to count and rely on that in your income planning, Tim, that's kind of another topic altogether, right?
Well, a lot of people don't understand exactly what Social Security was created by. So in FDR's presidency, one of the reasons they created retirement was to get people off of being unemployed into retirement. And it was really, Social Security was supposed to take up about 40% of your income. And unfortunately, we see many different Americans who are living on that, solely that as their income per month. So it is not meant to be the cover everything. It's supposed to be just about 40%. And unfortunately, some people are not savers. I would think most of our, radio listeners are not in that camp, but it does add up to a good chunk of change for most people. I know mine, for example, is going to be $3,600 a month. It's not like I'm going to turn that away. That helps a lot with different payments.
Well, and over the course of the average life expectancy of a married couple, Tim, this can reach in excess of $1 million of income. Oh, yeah. And the difference between a good decision and a poorly timed decision can be several hundreds of thousands of dollars that either comes from Social Security or that you have to pull from your personal assets, or just isn't there at all. So definitely worth the time to really think through and become educated on your decision with Social Security, because it is a permanent decision with lifelong implications. In fact, with a married couple, more than lifelong implications. The implications last for the widow or widower, a surviving spouse. So think this one through, ladies and gentlemen. And Tim, I know this is part of your Protect and Grow written retirement income plan, is that Social Security optimization, time spent in really concentrating on making the most of Social Security, making a good decision with it, answering that retirement riddle. How do we get the most out of Social Security? And ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to have that Social Security optimization report, if you would like to put together your Protect and Grow personal written retirement plan, if you would like the book, The Retirement Riddle, pick up the phone now and give a call. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256. Tim's office, by the way, TJ Stearns Inc., conveniently located in Arlington Heights, and you can absolutely visit there in person, but also through the ease and convenience of technology. You can hold virtual meetings, Tim, with folks that want to get a jump start in the conversation about their planning. You've got these regular educational retirement classes that you hold at universities throughout the Chicagoland area, and skip the phone call, always available online at tjstearns.com, tjstearns.com, ladies and gentlemen. So lots of ways to be in touch. Tim makes it easy and convenient to get that conversation started or to get some resources that are important for your situation. So Tim, back to the conversation about Social Security. What are some of the additional myths that we need to know and understand and maybe rethink or reconsider with Social Security?
Well, one of the things is, basically we tell people, we can run the Social Security optimization report for you, but at the end of the day, if I'm not able to pay my bills, and I'm 62 years old, and I'm not going to be working much more, maybe my health isn't great, but I'm not disabled, but just I'm not able to do that. Take it if you need it, but wait if you can, is what we always tell people. In the book, we talk about, if you can, wait till your full retirement age. It'll help you and your spouse. But, I had an aunt that had lost her job and she really wasn't doing well health-wise, had some heart problems, but again, was not disabled. She took it at age 62. Just know, like she did, because I educated her, that you'll be receiving only 75% of what your full retirement income would have been. So I just want to put that out there to people that if you are going to go early, you are sacrificing, but, it might make sense in your circumstances. And it's not a cookie cutter approach. I will also add that if you go to Social Security, their headquarters, there's one in Mount Prospect, for example, they will not guide you. They can't. It's against the law for them to give you advice or that type of thing. So make sure you talk to someone who's educated in it and really runs the parameters of why you are going to do it, maybe versus why you should wait. And the Social Security optimization report that they have on ssa.gov is okay. Ours, we actually pay for the software, and I think it's much better. It kind of shows you where the rubber meets the road. I mean, if you're leaving money on the table or if you're getting an advantage. And I think that's worth every minute of it.
And Tim, importantly, you can, through the planning software and then the planning that you do, include and incorporate other assets. Most of those Social Security calculators only look at Social Security as though it's alone on an island in a vacuum all by itself, which is in reality, as you stated, it was never really intended to cover 100% of our retirement expenses or lifestyle. So that's typically not going to be the case, that Social Security is a decision by itself. You've got to include and incorporate the rest of your plan and complement it and plan together to integrate it.
I think what you're just talking about there is an income allocation plan, Peter. That's part of the process that we do, is that we include the Social Security optimization report. As you said, nothing's in a vacuum, right? Everything is out there. And you want to make sure that if you're doing something in one area, let's say taking retirement assets and converting them to a Roth, that's going to affect you with IRMA, which is a Medicare surcharge. Or are you going to be affecting your Social Security as well, like making it more taxable? Luckily, we have a CPA on staff, and then we have all of us in the office are certified for Social Security and credit and Medicare as well.
So again, if you would like that Social Security optimization report, if you would like the full Protect and Grow written retirement income plan, including the optimized Social Security report, if you'd like the book, The Retirement Riddle, that talks about these issues pertaining to Social Security, as well as many other aspects and facets of a comprehensive retirement plan, ladies and gentlemen, just pick up the phone, give a call to TJ Stearns and Tim Stearns CFP now. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256. So Tim, we sort of lumped them together, but taking these, again, myths one at a time here. The next one, it's a little bit two-sided. The myth is it isn't going to cover the lifestyle that you need and want in retirement. That actually is true, but it's true because it never was meant to cover the lifestyle that you need and want in retirement, right?
Right. It was only supposed to be 40% of your, income while you were working that you'd need. So, I mean, we see a lot of people are unfortunately relying on all of it as being that amount. And that's a rough road. But I mean, for those out there that were savers, this might give you pause as to when you want to turn it on. Because again, in my family, I saw a sibling who waited till age 70 because it behooved him to do that for my sister-in-law. But I've also seen it where people need to turn it on because, it's what they need to get through their life, So it's all about needs-based, and we'll help anybody out there that needs information or questions answered. We've had a lot of different phone calls about Medicare and Social Security, so many moving parts. And I would tell anyone who will listen to me, don't go down that rabbit hole by yourself. Make sure you rely on someone who is certified to answer those questions.
Well, with this one, Tim, figuring out how much of your income it is going to replace. I mean, obviously, you want to look at the Social Security estimates, but another big part of this equation, you got to look at your expenses as well, right? What does lifestyle cost you? Maybe retirement's not about replacing 100% of our working career income, but it certainly should be about planning to replace 100% of the lifestyle expenses that we have and the lifestyle that we are accustomed to. Social Security generally only going to be a portion of that.
Right. And you need to sit down and actually bang out an income allocation plan. That's what we tell anyone who is thinking about retiring, or even if they have retired, make sure you did the right move, right? And Social Security plays a huge part of that. It can impact you for the good and for the bad. And, a lot of people just kind of winging it, taking Social Security because they think it's the right idea. You only have 12 months to undo that, and you have to return the money back to them. So, there used to be 5 years, which would, people took advantage of that situation. Now it is 12 months. Once you're down the path after 12 months, you are down the path of taking that Social Security for the rest of your life.
Myth number 3, Tim, take it if you need it. And then parentheses, but wait if you can. Right. I mean, why is this a myth? Is that not the case?
Well, again, if you need it, and I mean, in not dire straits, but you need the income, take it, right? But if you wait after your full retirement age, it goes up by 8% each year until age 70. We had one gentleman come in here who was 72 years old, and he was bragging to us that he hadn't turned it on yet, which is very unfortunate. And, it's not like they say, oh, well, you get a do-over and here's all the money that we owed you. Mm-hmm. Right. So I would tell you, there's many different people, highly educated, who I've talked to that didn't understand that, 70s is the last time, you don't wait, you do it right then. But you would get.
There is a benefit, Tim, to wait from 62 to 70, but there is no reason to wait anything past your 70th birthday, right?
No way. Until 70th birthday, you should be on Social Security and collecting whatever is due to you. But I mean, again, back to my example, if I don't take it when I'm age 67, every year I don't take it, it goes up by 8%, which is a heck of an opportunity to take advantage of. So why wouldn't I maybe do that? But again, that will depend on my income allocation plan. What are my bills? Do I need the money now or later? If I can wait, then it makes sense.
Yep. And based on average life expectancies for a couple who has already attained these kind of ages, 62 or 65 or 67, Tim, on average, those couples are going to live well past kind of the convergence of the lines and the break-even points, right? However, you think on average, well, that means half of us are going to live even longer than those averages, and it could make waiting be an even more profitable decision. But if you need it or you can't afford to wait, there may be mitigating circumstances there. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to work through this on your own and for your specific situation and to optimize the Social Security income in your decision. And that is just one part of the Protect and Grow income planning process there at TJ Stearns Inc. with Tim Stearns, CFP. If you'd like to go through that process, if you'd like to see your optimization report, pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. No cost, no obligation for that Social Security optimization report or the Protect and Grow written plan, by the way. So give a call now to take advantage of that. And for the first 10 callers, you can also receive a copy of that book, The Retirement Riddle. It's answering a lot of the questions that we have about modern retirement. Again, just call 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. Tim, myth number 4, you can continue to work without a long-term penalty. Why is this a myth? What are we meaning there?
Yes, Peter, there's a penalty of what you'll receive. It's locked in for your lifetime. So if I turn it on at age 62 again, it's 75% of what, even after I get past my full retirement age. And then also they have for example, in 2023, for every dollar earned above $21,240, the Social Security reduced their benefits by $1 for every $2 earned. So these are things that you need to kind of be cognizant of as you go to turn it on early. That's why I say, again, do the test and see if you can, not turn it on early, if you can help it, so that you don't have that penalty that's going to be permanently with you the rest of your life. Plus, if you're married, kind of a double quandary, right? Because you just kind of screwed up having anything with your wife or husband in the long term.
Plus, Tim, we know that continuing to work actually is shown to keep people happier, healthier, and social, and continuing to earn an income never going to be bad for your financial outlook. We just have to balance that with our desire for the quality of life and the time that we want to spend. So all good things there, but I guess don't let this myth stop you from continuing to work. If you do want to be productive, it's just understand the implications that will have on your Social Security, and don't needlessly incur penalties or a lifetime of reduced benefits. Number 5, Tim, you touched on it. I think this is the big one though here, the myths about Social Security. Number 5, the Social Security Administration answers questions.
They do not. Basically you go in there and you tell them what you're going to do. And that's why I say, have a conversation with your spouse. Get in front of somebody who knows exactly how Social Security works. And then every year at open enrollment, I would tell you to talk to someone about Medicare as well. But back to your original thought here is that they do not answer questions. It's actually against the law for them to give you any guidance. So I would tell you, meet with someone, talk it over, have a powwow with your financial advisor. A lot of these people that are financial advisors, they deal with just your money. I don't think they answer the other questions where they don't get paid for it. And we are happy to help people. Again, knowledge is power for our clients, and we make sure that they understand exactly where we're coming from.
Tim, they can answer certain questions about the system itself, although I've heard you call 3 times with the same question and you get 5 different answers. However, the big part of this is that they do not answer questions that are specific to your situation, right? They are essentially order takers on the day that you show up, not there to tell you if that is the best day or the best method for you to claim, because they do not know the rest of your financial situation. Correct. Therefore, they can't give good recommendations. They don't take on that liability there at the Social Security Administration office. That's why you are there to provide that service to those proactive thinkers that want to make the most out of Social Security.
Exactly. Use us as a resource. I don't want anyone flying blind going in there and making a choice that, they have only 12 months to undo. Sometimes when you do screw up in life, you don't realize it for a couple of years, right? things happen. And life is so dynamic nowadays, especially with everything coming at us at once, that I would tell you, make sure that you make the right, correct move for Social Security.
When it comes to planning and living for retirement, ladies and gentlemen, there are really only three forms of protected lifetime income available: Social Security, pensions, annuities. Since pensions have basically disappeared, the decision about how and when to claim Social Security makes that much more of a difference, makes it more important than ever before. If you are like millions of Americans who find themselves facing a gap in your income, you've got to fill it, and you want to make the most of Social Security to minimize that gap. Talk with Tim Stearns, CFP, your certified financial planning professional and your resource, Chicagoland, for proactive guidance on making the most of your retirement to protect and grow. And if you'd like the book, The Retirement Riddle, if you'd like the Social Security Optimization Report, if you'd like your own Protect and Grow written retirement plan, no cost for any of those. Just pick up the phone, give a call now, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256, or skip the phone, go online, always available on the web at tjstearns.com, tjstearns.com. Tim, always a pleasure to have you here on the program, providing this important information, needed advice and guidance.
Thanks, Peter, for having me. I appreciate it.
Tune into Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns' full radio program and visit tjstearns.com for many valuable resources, including other great episodes of Chicagoland Retirement. Be sure to subscribe.
Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature, not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs.